Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a very special edition of Foxboro Friends. I'm here with Fitzy. It's been a while since we've done a show. We had some complications this morning trying to shoot, so we figured we'd bring you the second best thing. We're coming to you live over the internet. It took us a little while to figure it out, but we're finally here. Fitzy, we've had a few games. We had the bye week. We just had the Jets yesterday. Where are you at, man? I haven't checked in with you in a while. The hot texts have been a little bit slow, so I'm excited to hear how you're holding up over these last few weeks.
After the Nashika, hey everybody, first time, long time, big fan of the show. I was down in Nashville a few weeks ago for the Nashika against Vrabel and the Titans, and that was such an amazing weekend and such a disappointing game. I decided to walk my madness, the hot texts, the hot takes, and everything else in the full-blown Fitzy Finalysis world of Foxboro fandom, and just kind of, I don't know. I mean, that was my own personal Brady's knee injury, so I kind of just needed to, come up. I needed to fake an illness. I needed to take a little time off. Much like with the Patriots as well, the bye week could not have come at a better time, I think, for all of us. And I'm sorry that we weren't able to keep with our regular schedule. We banged out the first 3 episodes of Foxboro and Friends on the YouTube and on the podcast, the SoundCloud, and everything else. And then, yeah, like you said, things happen. In Belichick's world, us all coming in at 8:03 and claiming that we're Dallas Thomas and there was a snowstorm wouldn't be good enough. We'd be riding pine. But at the same time, hey, we're doing this for fun, for the fans, and for the hell of it. So, are you having fun? It is. Yes.
Are we having fun as Patriot fans?
Most important part is Lane Johnson says we're having fun. So I'm pissed. Yeah, real quick, by the way, as thrilled as I am, the most important win yesterday, Patriots over the Jets, right? And their second half was so much better than the first half. It's not even funny. But the second biggest win of the day, obviously, was the Broncos. And I'm pissed at the Giants for tanking in the second half when they had a lead and they could have choked out the Eagles this season. Just because that's you may think that all the success begets, understanding or an ease and a lack of saltiness. No, we're as bitter as ever up here in New England. Doesn't matter how many titles, how many victories, how many championships, dude. We'll always be as bitter. But thank you, Broncos.
Yeah. Well, the door's open now for another bye. And, I mean, it's crazy to think that, the Patriots, they haven't won a road playoff game since 2006. I mean, I know they haven't played on the road a lot, but that's kind of staggering when you think about it. We're 12 years later, they haven't won a road playoff game.
Wait, hold on a sec. The last time the Pats won a friggin' road playoff game, yeah, they really don't play a lot of road playoff games, but the last time they won was when Troy Brown ripped the ball from Marlon McCree and the soul from the San Diego Superchargers.
That's the one.
Wow, that's unbelievable. It's been a full Tom Brady jersey of years since the Pats won a friggin' road game. Wow.
I mean, they've only lost 2 others, both in Denver, the 13 and 15 AFC championships. But that's it. I mean, they've only played 2, and those were pretty good teams.
Except you had to bring that up, didn't you?
Sorry.
I had promised I wouldn't drink before at least the sun went down, but there goes that promise. Hey, that's what beer fridges and a can-do attitude are for. Hey, I wanted to just say, the bye week came at a great time also for the team, but can we just talk about how in yesterday's game, with the way that game started, the way that game began, and the way the Pats were playing, super sloppy coming out of the bye. Brady looked meh. He was gimping around. And then the way it turned around, and then the way the rest of the day unfolded, like that game went from that Sunday went from 0 to hero in no time at all. That Sunday went from like death row to dynasty in a friggin' heartbeat, kid. That was a hell of a turnaround. Poor house. Yeah.
I'm having trouble on this one because it's like I'm wondering what parts are crazy refs calling tons of weird penalties. What part of it is like they're a little rusty after the bye? What part of it is the Jets always seem to give us a hard time? And then finally, what part of it is kind of the same struggles we've seen over these road games where they've lost? Like where's the truth lie in that whole mix of like kind of weird factors for this game? But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I have a good beat on this team. It just seems like they got to run Sony Michel, and their defense is like up and down and not really that that great at pressuring the quarterback. So if the back end is on, they're pretty good. But if they need to rely on their front seven, they just seem to struggle. I mean, it's up and down.
Yeah, well, listen, the Pats, the Pats linebacker coverage is still just brutal. I mean, I felt so bad yesterday. You want to talk about just like, just like watching a grandfather try and chase their child around the playground when they have all the best intentions of the world, like watching Hightower try to trail like running backs and wide receivers, even in the Jets. Yesterday was just like, that was like, oh no, that's
don't make him run.
No, don't make High run. That's not what the boom tower does. Don't be mean to the High. But I think it was a combination of things. It's like, what makes the burger so good? Is it the fries? Is it the bun? Is it the meat? Is it the cheese? Is it just the fact that you want a burger? Yesterday, the Jets always seem to play the Pats a little tougher in the Meadowlands or the Dreadlands or Jet Life Stadium, or whatever you want to call that absolute dumpster, that shithole. Shithole country. So that happens too. McCown, perfectly serviceable backup. The Patriots always find a way to play a game that will validate his backup status and get him another year in the NFL. So if anything, Josh McCown should give his agent Bill Belichick 10% of his salary every year. They have no linebacker coverage whatsoever. They were sloppy coming out of the bye, which was kind of the most 2018 Patriots thing you could see. Like just the Dietrich, whatever. I figure you guys figure out how you want him to pronounce the name.
The third.
Oh, dude, the friggin' roughing the passer. I mean, come on, this is 2018, and that was the most 2018 friggin' Pats defensive play of the season. But
I find this a little bit like disconcerting that the defense just feels like they need to start over. I feel like. Am I crazy?
The most important player on the defense. Who would I build this defense around going forward into next year? Rex Burkhead. Honest to God, the most important player coming back for the Patriots, the most important player the rest of the season is Rex Burkhead. Because if Burkhead comes back and is even a shadow of his former self, let alone 80% Burkhead till I'm Burke dead, then you know what? The Pats are just going to be able to. They're just going to have to outscore everybody. They're going to have to go into it with the Super Bowl 52 game plan, minus all the, why didn't he play Butler, put Butler in madness? Because they're just going to have to, outscore everybody, dude. Look at it. I don't give please with the Devin McCourty's the fastest player in the NFL running 22 miles per hour, returning the interception against the Bills. The Patriots are like the same way, like when you really have to get to work and you forget like that it might snow or sleet overnight and your driveway isn't like covered in snow, but it's like icy, but you don't have time to like, chop up the ice or de-ice it or anything. You know the way you walk to the car just to start it and like, all right, I'll get that when I get home. That's the way. That's about how fast all the Patriots safeties are. I mean, for God's sakes, they just they ice foot it. They do a dad driveway ice foot. The Pats are long on the tooth at secondary. They got a bunch of young, unproven dudes opposite bump and run Gilmore at cornerback. Obi Melifonwu, you're welcome.
Congratulations on that one.
I was going to say, like acceptable answers to his name are like Gesundheit. Congratulations. What you talking about, Willis? So this guy's getting meaningful snaps now. Dude, we're basically sitting here right now like pinning our hopes to Duke Dawson coming in and like having an impact. And he could have played yesterday and the guy didn't even get off the inactive. So what's the hope with the defense? Other teams crapping down their leg. Buying into the Patriots' mystique and the offense being diversified enough, no matter how many times it looks like Sony Michel's going to get bent in half and snap like a dried sugar daddy, they're going to have to just run the ball. James White all night. Like what a great touchdown pass to Gronk yesterday. Integrate hopes and then bring back that Swiss Army universal weapons appeal of Rex Burkhead, man. That's the only way I see this team succeeding going forward.
Yeah, I agree definitely on Rex Burkhead, and it's like, oh man, it sucks to have to count on that guy because I mean, sorry, but he just is injury after injury since he got here. But I mean, I look at like
himself into the line. The guy,
I know, shot out of a rocket.
I know he really does. Like he's Reckless Rex should be his name. There's Wreck-It Ralph and Reckless Rex, dude. He does. He spins. He throws himself like. He plays with the kind of abandon and gusto you would want out of somebody who will play special teams, who wants to catch passes, who wants to run it between the tackles. But when you're Burkhead's size, like you're going to get banged up more often than it's just the way it's going to be. You got to live and die with that.
Is Dante Hightower worth the $10.375 million cap hit he is scheduled to get? They have an option on him, but they'd have to eat $5 million in dead cap space if they did not pick it up. What would you do about Hightower? I'm questioning these things, Fitzy. I can't believe I'm questioning.
I know. I mean, I can't believe. And I know. I can't believe we got so much to catch up on. But like the long view is necessary because look, do I think they can beat the Vikings Sunday? Yes. And I know since we're just like, happily getting together, we're not going through all the usual like game recap and viewer mail and like. We're on to blank, and yeah, this is just it's a freeform Foxboro and Friends. It's an FFF and F.
Freeform Foxboro Friends Festival.
Exactly. Zero Fox given. Yeah, man. Like I think they can beat the Vikings. I think it's going to be close as hell. I think they can squeak it out just thanks to a little home magic and hopefully some timely Brady and.
Challenge for the offense.
It's a great challenge for the offense. I think they can overcome Brady's sub 500 record in Miami. I think they can win. It's all going to come down to Pittsburgh. And this defense 100% is not built to stop the double tight end, James Conner, Juju Smith-Schuster, Antonio Brown. It's at and Denver, I mean, there's no chance. They're going to have to flat out just outscore Pittsburgh if they want to win, and it's going to come down to that for the chance to get a bye, dude.
And in fairness, they never really have had a problem moving the ball on Pittsburgh, but I think it's just like, can the defense hold out, make those, I mean, it always comes down to like a weird play at the end. But I mean, I just feel like now with this Patriots team, it's like these next 3 games and then you have the last 2 and it's kind of like, well, you're not going to learn much hosting Buffalo and hosting the Jets at the end. It's like these 3 games are bust. And I still could see the game. I still could see them getting to the Super Bowl. I just feel like it's a narrow path like it was in 2011 where you knew that they had their weaknesses, but if they could just kind of make the weird plays like they did against the Ravens, they got, missed field goal at the end there in 2011, like that kind of thing, that's kind of the model. But my only concern is this offense as explosive and I guess that offense I wouldn't call explosive in 2011, but they would carve you up with Branch and Welker, and young Gronk, young Hernandez, Hernandez was probably better that year than Gronk was. Do they have that same kind of offensive efficiency to make up for the defensive problems? That's what I don't know.
Remember the divisional game against Tebow after we heard everything about the Broncos because the Broncos beat Pittsburgh in that cover 0. Yeah. Demaryius Thomas in the wild card round.
Smash.
All we heard was Tebow, and the Pats just absolutely smashed them. They looked invincible. And then, of course, it was Sterling Moore breaking up Lee Evans and then Billy Cundiff missing the 32-yarder to get them in the Super Bowl. That defense was terrible. I mean, Edelman was playing defensive back for God's sakes. And think about how close they came as well, which is unbelievable. I know. You had Mark Anderson playing and who wore Seymour's number that year?
I mean, Andre Carter got hurt.
Mr. Carter, that's right. Andre Carter got hurt. Shit, that's right. But dude, that offense was awesome. I mean, you had Hernandez running the ball against Denver and looking so good. Yeah. And dude, that Super Bowl was lost because the friggin' Greg Brady Tiki doll. Bernard Pollard lost us the Super Bowl. Bernard Pollard lost us the Super Bowl when he tore up Gronk's ankle in the AFC Championship. Period. End of story. That's all there was to it. I think that offense had it all. That offense had everything. I don't know if we've seen exactly what this offense is yet because although you're not going to say like signature Tom Brady victory yesterday. Although Now, although he did get the most passing yards in history yesterday, postseason, regular season combined. And I thought the 20-minute ceremony, bringing his family on the field with the plaques and the photos and the commissioner being there was very tasteful, very, very tasteful.
Very nice.
Very nice. Well done. It was understated. I don't think Brady's had a signature Brady game all season. And I think even though he's a little dinged up now, I think with the full comportment, with the best you're going to get out of Gronk, with Hogan and Edelman coming off the 2 weeks, reintegrating Hogan, Edelman just going full bore, Sony Michel and and now Burkhead, I think now you're going to get your best glimpses to what these Patriots the 2018 Patriots. We hardly know ye so far, and I think now we're going to really get to know this team. And it's great that they get to be at home against a quality opponent with a tough defense. And if they can shine this coming Sunday, I think we'll get a real good idea as to who they are and how far they can go.
That was a great soundbite right there. I mean, you should do radio.
Nah, I'll stick to the internet. It's more fun out here anyway. You can say whatever you want.
I mean, I agree. And, I think that's the offense. I feel my fear is that we know the defense, and that's they're going to be their Achilles heel, that they don't quite get the stop that they need. But what do you got planned for this weekend, Fitz, for the big Vikings game? Any big plans here?
Yeah, I'll be down working the lots. I mean, I work all the home games now. I'm up in the Putnam Club an hour and a half before kickoff, hosting the Chalk Talk for Craft Sports and the New England Patriots. It's a freaking blast. If you ever can make your way up to any of the where you got to watch the game a couple weeks ago, thanks to our pals at DraftKings, or if you're in the Putnam Club or any of those nice spots, I host this thing half an hour long. I talk to former players, get a chance to get the crowd pumped up, a little back and forth with Patriots greats. And then I get to watch the games from the stadium, which is a blast. Plus, this weekend, I'm going to be shipping into town my pal Francis from Town Fair Tire and NFL Fan Therapy fame. And we'll just be working the lots, hanging out. And then after the game, we're going to go to if you're in the area and you want to come join us, dude, we'll be at the Battle Road Brewery hop-up shop doing a little Facebook Live post-game show.
It's amazing. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. It's plenty of stuff. I feel like I need to, because we're on a podcast, when you're on the radio, I mean, you probably have to do it when you talk to people. They're always constantly saying your name and where to find you, just in random times, randomly interjected in the middle of the conversation. He's Fitzy GFY. You can find him at townienews.com. So Fitzy, tell us more, that kind of thing. You would know more about that than I would.
I get. Please. What do I know? I'm just a character. I'm all the bad decisions and things you wish you could say out loud in your soul of Patriot souls. This is it, being everywhere, talking Pats, doing all this stuff. It's so fun. This is exactly the kind of stuff we all want to doing this stuff that we do, dude. It just makes the Brady Belichick run that much more memorable, because now we'll have a living archive. We'll have a catalog. Hey, I'm already having a hard time remembering how I felt after games just a couple weeks ago. But now you can go back on Pat's propaganda and you can see what you wrote leading up to and after a game. Yeah. I can listen to podcasts or watch webcasts and stuff oh, that's right, that's the terrible joke, or that's the lava hot take that I delivered after that game, or heading into that showdown, blah, blah, blah. So I just think getting a chance to be accessible, mixing it up with the Fanimals and doing the stuff we do makes it that much more memorable and that much more fun.
Oh, so fun. Going to a game with you is by far one of the most enjoyable experiences. The biggest Patriots fan celebrity there is. It's quite wonderful, the joy you spread. But
oh, please.
Well,
please, I guess the Pied Piper for Patriots Nation. Give me a break. I want to know what you. I want to know what you think. So you said, oh boy, you kind of curtailed the hot text, and you've kind of And by the way, for anyone who hasn't had a chance to watch Foxboro and Friends or enjoy some of the back and forth between me and Deuce from Pat's show last year and Foxboro and Friends, whenever we get to do it now, a hot text that's our term for whenever you're freaking out in the game and instead of tweeting something negative or hot take-ish, you text it to your buddy.
Who won't overreact to it?
It's an overreactionary hot take in a text, and I am guilty. I am prone to do so, and you have been recipient of one and many over the years. But I've been trying to walk it back just because. I mean, come on, it's forget about the AFC East being the AFC least, right? Okay, sure, Buffalo. The Jets are exactly. Like I always say, you can't spell Jets without jest, which is what they play their seasons in. And Miami's not ready for the spotlight or the prime time either. But all that being said, I mean, come on, dude. They're gonna I saw that only in Boston tweet yesterday, which was like, this is the that win yesterday clinches the 18th season in a row the Pats will be 500 or better. Brady's yardage, then just more stats and more accomplishments and more records just keep falling at their and people take it for granted on a daily basis. And I'm just in this sort of weirdly comfortable, almost anti-me spot where I just want to stop and appreciate all this. I'm into it, and I'm still a complete fanimal when I watch the games. But by the same token, this is awesome. Look at dude, Jacksonville was good for 5 seconds, and now they're a medical waste truck on fire on the side of the highway. This doesn't last. The Eagles may finish 500, and they just won the friggin' Super Bowl. The Pats are worthy of at least a 3 seed, if not a first round bye, and a Super Bowl contender every year. So how the hell can we be? How can we be those fans about this team?
I know. I think that's why my first instinct was I'm just looking towards next year already. I'm looking towards the future. It's that's my key hot text time is always the beginning of the season when you're not sure what this team is or isn't. And they certainly have their weaknesses now, but I think we've just established that, they're top team in the AFC, and they're going to probably be right there and with a play either way in at least the AFC Championship game, and then we'll see. But I know it's a comfortable place to be, and it doesn't. You're so right. It doesn't get the kind of credit at all that it really deserves. And I think we certainly, all of us, are guilty of taking it for granted. I mean, I feel like every time I write something about the Patriots, if I don't dedicate a page of praise to Tom Brady, I'm underserving him. But I mean, it's what else can you do? It's just records continue to fall. And, I was thinking the same thing when I was watching the game. I'm like, God, these at Jet games, they're starting to slowly meld together. It used to be 2006 at Jets. I remember everything about the game. But now, after 18 years of these things, they're starting, you have obviously the moments like the butt fumble and big ones that you always will remember. And it always is cool to talk about a game that exactly what somebody's talking about. Right. But you're right, man. It's blessed. We're #blessed, and hopefully we can continue to chat about it, and it can continue on for at least a season or two more, maybe.
I think we got probably one more of the Gronk if he plays another one. I think you could probably squeeze 2 more out of TFB. We're #Bella blessed or #Brady blessed. And I'm good with it, But don't think just for a second oh man, Fitz and Deuce went soft. Now they just sound like a bunch of dads that are cataloging their lives so they can scroll through this one day in an iPhoto show that they watch before their kids go to college or get married and just weep like a bunch of pansy asses. No, the tweets will all still have the same teeth. They'll still be the inappropriate jokes and outrageous in-game finalysis all the time. It's just awesome. It's just, I can't believe I'm saying this. I really do sound like somebody who's just I'm in the happy to be here phase of my life or my fandom. But I always stop and think this, Craig Ferguson once said, the rules of Twitter need to be this, does this need to be said? Does this need to be said by me? Does this need to be said by me right now? And I never used to think that way. I heard it on stage years ago, and I was like, that's hilarious. I'm going to completely ignore that and just be super obnoxious online all the time. And then someone reminded me of that about a year and a half ago, or I was in some sort of lame Twitter argument with somebody. And I was just like, what is the point of this? If I don't make myself laugh, or if I don't think that that whatever I'm saying is unique enough that it need be said, fuck it, forget it. Enjoy the game. Have another beer. Go about your day. Because this isn't gonna last forever, and the last thing you want to do is just be putting more bullshit out into the environment.
or talking people off the ledge. That's what I'm done with, talking people off the ledge. I'm just like, if you haven't gotten it by now, you're not going to get it.
No, exactly. Okay. Right here. We can do a lightning round of 3 things you wish the Patriots did differently over the last year. I'd say A, obviously play Butler. B, I wish they didn't draft. Part of me kind of wishes they didn't draft Sony Michel and Isaiah Wynn and drafted a speedy coverage linebacker like Keanu Neal or Telvin Smith or somebody else like that. And I guess that's what they were hoping. Juwan Bentley, and to a point maybe Christian Sam could have been. But they're both where the majority of the 2018 draft class are, which is on injured reserve. And I wish all that Gronk bullshit never happened because, it was just a giant distraction and it takes a little bit of luster off their accomplishments. But at the same time, when you see how hurt it is, Belichick's always one to get out before he gets in. Okay, I get it. Yeah, and I also wish they took a safety because these guys are – because, Harmon and McCourty are definitely, probably playing somewhere between the 10th and the 13th hole of their Patriots career.
Yes,
but it is what it is. This is what you got. Don't criticize your significant other or spouse for what they aren't or what they don't do. Enjoy them for what you got. Otherwise, trade them in, keep calm, and carry on, man.
Well, Fitz, I know you got to get to work. It was a pleasure. I guess shall we wrap it up now? Is that good with you? Is that your timing?
Dude, I'd do this all day, but yeah. The beer fridge doesn't stock itself and the bills don't pay themselves. Let me get the official Pats prop prediction. I know it's early because we just came out of Jets week. Yeah, let's get since we probably won't get a chance to do an official Foxboro and Friends maybe for a week or 2 weeks tops. We'll do the best we can, but let me get your prediction for the game. Looking forward to Sunday.
I'm going to say 20-17 Patriots. 20-17. Grind out win.
A grinder.
Yeah.
All right. People don't really point up on. I'm going to go with. Believe it or not, I'm going to go with a 27-20.
I like that.
Yeah, I think they'll give up. I think Adam Thielen's still going to feed, even though they'll probably put Gilmore on him. Or do you think? Oh, here's the question: do you throw Gilmore on Diggs, on Diggs, right? And then do you double up Thielen because he's such a pain in the ass, or do you put Gilmore on Thielen and then let Jason McCourty see how Jason McCourty does against Diggs until you feel as though you need to bring help over top to one or the other?
Yeah, I think you got some options. I think bigger question might be is it time to work Duke Dawson in over Jonathan Jones too? But I think they've got options. I like what McCourty's done. On the other side, again, he was one of the only one of the only 6 guys to play all the snaps. So they, coming out of the bye, they like him. It's like one of those pick your poison kind of things. And sometimes I'm just play sides, match up here and there when you have to. Definitely on key, third downs with Thielen. He's a Patriot receiver wet dream, that guy. Right.
Belichick must have to hold his Microsoft Surface over his crotch to hide his Belichick boner every time he sees Thielen play.
It's the only reason he keeps Hogan around is he kind of vaguely looks like Thielen a little bit. He's stapling to put a picture on his face. But I think that's going to be interesting, and I'd love to see the offense show some consistency with and I think is Burkhead back next week? I think he's not till next week. So
no, week 13 for reals. Yeah.
I prefer not to see Cordero Patterson any more running back carries. But
what are you talking about, dude? He gave us the greatest soundbite in the history of the NFL. I'm a grown man. I don't need some other man's dick and balls and ass in my face. Are you kidding me? Patterson with the grab of the game. That's why I tweeted out immediately afterwards, this grab of the game brought to you by Planters Nuts.
There's a tweet that needs to be sent right now by you. That was perfect.
Didn't need to be. Oh my God, are you kidding me? That's the soundbite of the year.
That's the critique.
It's so déclassé. Oh yeah, how can you? Wow, boy, there's the modern athlete entitled, thinking they can say all this crap. This is just a trash league. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, that spices up the 2018. I can root for them so much more because this guy's an absolute lunatic. He's a complete lunatic. The Pats are such a hot mess right now. They're like that band that's like, man, their melodies are awesome. They can't play together for shit, but some of the
melodies. I think that's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to us. Yeah, he's at Fitzy GFY. I'm Mike D. Pat's Propaganda. Can't even say my own website name. And we'll hopefully be back to you guys in a couple of weeks, maybe with like a Pittsburgh preview, I guess. That probably be the aim to, or maybe it'd be a Pittsburgh wrap up at that point. But either way, we'll see. We're both looking forward to the Pittsburgh game. So anything else to add, Fitz?
Yeah, make sure you swing by the Townie News Store. We got all the Patriots ugly sweaters on sale through Cyber Monday for only $28. Brand new GFY koozies, LFG and GFY stickers are on sale. And if you visit townienews.com, any other company crazy enough to actually sponsor our videos and whatever else and help us out with the NFL fan therapy and the Today in Patriots, you can visit those sponsors. Oh, yeah. And go to patreon.com/FitzyGFY to help us continue put on NFL fan therapy and get me and Deuce the equipment we need to be able to produce top quality broadcast level Foxboro and Friends whenever the hell we get together next.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and we will see you soon.
LFG!